Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Racha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Babylon the Great will be dragged into World War III. Listen up.
We are devoted to the defense of Israel. We will support Israel. We will help defend Israel, and Iran will not succeed. Thank you very much.
Now, I hope you heard that. It was a little low, so I'm going to try to play it one more time. Hopefully they don't give me a copyright strike. Let's see. Let me try to change the... See what happens.
We are devoted to the defense of Israel. We will support Israel. We will help defend Israel, and Iran will not succeed. Thank you very much.
And that comes by way of the whole talk now of, this retaliation. But here it is. You done start something with someone, and then when they want to retaliate and get payback, then you want to call your big brother, so to speak. You're not fighting your own battles. And they killed two major military men of Iran, and of course they're gonna want payback back. But now these devils don't. You better not strike. You better. It's just like somebody coming in your house, killing a couple of members of your family, and then you want revenge, but they say you better not, or otherwise we're gonna get these other individuals against you. And that's how these devils operate. These weasels, these rats. That's what we call them, rats. That's how they operate. That's why they found them up under them tunnels. But the main scripture I want to highlight here, and the main point, is Jeremiah 49:20, which we've gone over this many times. You brothers and few sisters that have been, watching, that we've always mentioned for years. Surely the least of the flock will draw them out, which I've never heard anybody else on the planet break that down, but either, you could say former members of WWIII, because WWIII is no longer, the building is still there, but the classrooms that were there at one time are gone. And if they're still there, they're most likely some type of storage or some type of kitchen area or some type of seating area, because it was taken over. So the former WWIIIers, High Priest Arya, High Priest Shaw, which were the last two pretty much that were there, that they're no longer in that building. All right, but the building is still there. And I just forgot, lost my train of thought of why I was mentioning that. But nevertheless, we've been speaking about this from all the way back then, former WWIIIers. From all the way back then, we've been speaking about surely the least of the flock will draw them out. And I've never heard anybody else, no matter what religion they call themselves, no matter what type of scholar they call themselves, ever bringing this out. All right, so we're going to read this, break it down, and then I want to hit this one major point here, which gave me the idea for the title of this lesson, which is Babylon the Great will be dragged into World War III. Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord. So this is the Most High Yahweh's counsel that he has taken against Esau. Because remember, Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. These devils that are the wicked, that have the world in a wicked grip, have to and will go down before Yahushai can set up his kingdom. It says, for he hath that he hath taken against Edom, right? Mainly the Edomites, because they're the ones that are in power right now. This is the last empire of the heathen, and his purposes that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Teman would be the wise men of Esau. Just like you had the Babylonians, which had the Chaldeans, which were the wise men of the Babylonian Empire, just like you had the Egyptians had the Magi's, and individuals like that, which were the wise men of Egypt at the time. All right. It says here, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. So out of all of the Edomite tribes, you could say the least of them is Amalek, the small hats. Okay. But the point here is, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. All right. Now, when we look up this word, draw them out, right, which I did just prior to starting, shall draw them out. The word there is sechab, right, to drag, to trail along. See? Now, when we come down here to the Jacinius Hebrew Chaldee, it says to drag or drag along on the ground so as to sweep the earth, right? Because they know that they cannot, these small hats know they can't take on Iran or they can't take on certain countries. But what they've done is they're, using, America, Babylon the Great, as their muscle. So whatever they want to do, they know they got the backing of America. And you heard that devil Biden, what he said. You heard what he said. I'm gonna play one more time. You know what? No, I won't play it. You could go watch it because I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike, which I don't think they will. But just to be on the safe side, you could go watch this video. I linked it in the description box. He said that America is devoted to defending Israel, and Iran will not win. That's what he says. But the Bible says different. So they're going to be dragged into this war, into this Third World War. But before they can be dragged into this Third World War all the way thoroughly, the MOTB, which is the micro-CHIP, has to be implemented first. And we keep saying that every time we talk about World War III, because although we've been mentioning it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, if you don't mention it when you're teaching something like this, you're going to have Jakes that's still going to take it and run and say, yeah, this is it. World War III is over. Yeah. And totally forget about the MOTB. So this is why we have to always constantly go over that, because Jake has a very serious problem with paying attention to detail. They have a real fucking serious problem with paying attention to detail. So you have to keep saying it over and over and over again, because otherwise Jake will forget. Anyways, let's get back. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock, the Amalek, the small hats, shall draw them out, meaning drag them into this Third World War. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right, because not only is America going to be completely wiped out, but the land of Israel is going to be completely wiped out. The only difference is that the land of Israel, which is our land, will be built back up. America will never be built back up. The only thing that will inhabit this place will only be desert creatures, wild animals, lizards, whatever, crocodile, whatever, alligator, whatever the Lord has to ostrich, and different animals and unclean birds like that will inhabit this land, after the destruction. And after, the smoke clears. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. All right? So the whole earth is going to rock to and fro off its axis. Matter of fact, let's get one precept and then we'll come back to this. Jeremiah 50 and 46. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, which is Babylon the Great, which shows you that Jeremiah 49 and Jeremiah 50, when it speaks about Babylon here, Babylon the Great, it's synonymous with Esau. Matter of fact, just to prove that, let's go to the book of Psalms 137. And we'll start at 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. The subject matter here are the Edomites. In the day of Jerusalem, this is when the Babylonians came into the land, destroyed the land, destroyed the temple, and Esau is right there helping these devils. Who said, race it, race it. When you look up this word, race it, means tear it down to the foundation. Tear them down utterly. But here it is. No, don't remember, Ak. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, Ak. Fuck these devils. Even to the foundation thereof. Then the Lord, which is addressing the Edomites, is saying, O daughter of Babylon. He's referring to the Edomites as the daughter of Babylon. All right? Because America today is Babylon the Great. Another good one would be Isaiah the 47th chapter. Who art to be destroyed, because this place will be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And you will get payback. You best believe that all those millions of Israelites that you've killed on this side of the world or more will not go unpunished. All of this shit that you did in slavery, I mean all of that, the conquering and colonizing of this side of the world, the bringing of the southern kingdom over here in captivity, you're going to pay for all of that. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. And this is going to actually happen in the kingdom of heaven. See? Fucking devils. Now let's go back to Jeremiah 50 and 46. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, just like we read about Esau. So Esau and Babylon are synonymous. And the cry is heard among the nations, just like you heard it back then when the Lord delivered us out of, Egypt. When he delivered our forefathers out of Egypt. And he parted, the Gulf of Suez, which is the western, northern western of the Red Sea. All right. It says, and the cry is heard among the nations. So going back to Jeremiah 49 and 21, the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. And when this place is totally annihilated, you're going to hear about it. Because the Lord said he's going to make this place a burnt mountain. Let's read Jeremiah 51, and then we'll jump back to this. Jeremiah 51 and 60. So Jeremiah wrote in the book, all the evil that shall come upon Babylon. Right. Now, he thought when he wrote this that it was talking about ancient Babylon. But this is talking about modern day Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is America. And one surefire way you can prove that America's Babylon the Great is just go to Revelation, the 18th chapter. And you read through that, and you pinpoint on the earth, who does that apply to? Is that talking about the ancient Babylonians? Oh, really? So the ancient Babylonians are supplying, goods to all nations on the planet Earth. The people of the planet Earth are getting rich off of, a venture or a deal with Babylon, the ancient Babylon. Oh, no, that applies to the Roman Catholic Church. Oh, yeah, the Vatican? So the whole world is doing trade with the Vatican, making money off the Vatican? No, that's talking about Jerusalem. Oh, so the whole earth is being supplied by Israel? No. But when you look at the statistics, America is doing that. America has ports on the East Coast, on the West Coast, through the Gulf of Mexico and all of that are bringing in ships from around the world that are making these nations rich. And many other things you could go into. Even all these words that are written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said to Sariah, when thou comest to Babylon and shalt see and shalt read all these words, then shalt thou say, O Yahweh, thou hast spoken against this place to cut it off, and none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever. And they thought it was talking about ancient Babylon back then. But when you read the chapter of Jeremiah 49, 50, and 51, the way that this Babylon is going to be taken out, ancient Babylon was not taken out that way. Because when you go back into the history, the Babylonian Empire was not taken down by any war, by any great fire, or nothing like that. It was like what you could call a hostile takeover. Darius the Mede came in there while the nobles of, the king regent and the nobles were inebriated, and he came in there and took them out. All right, it was no major war, nothing that went down. All right, so what is this talking about? What are these, the arrows that are going to be shot, and the fire, and all these things that are going to be happening, and the burnt mountain that is going to become, and the earth, shaking or quaking at the taking of Babylon? What is that talking about? It says, and it shall be when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind the stone to it and cast it into the midst of Euphrates. And it's heavy because Euphrates is a major river in end time prophecy. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her. And they shall be weary. Thus far the words of Jeremiah. So now when this was written, that was roughly around 700 some odd BC, right? Eventually ancient Babylon, or the Neo-Babylonian Empire, fell, but it was just translated over into the hands of the Medo-Persians. When we read Revelation 18, which is speaking about Babylon the Great, this was written back in roughly around 96 AD. So this was hundreds of years in the future when this was written, after the hostile takeover from the Medo-Persians taking over the Babylonian Empire. So obviously this Babylon is talking about a future Babylon. America is known as Babylon, or Babylon the Great. Believe it or not. Revelation 18:20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. Right, so when the Lord takes his place out, we're going to be happy, elated. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. That's what we read in here, Jeremiah 49:21. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry of the noise thereof was the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So pretty much the world is going to hear about this destruction. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle. This is dealing with Yahushai, and spread his wings over Basra, right, which is the capital of Edom. So when Yahushai comes back, he's going to destroy this place. He's going to come in a gigantic chariot, as the prophet Ezra saw, deliver his elect, and destroy this place. Then he say, matter of fact, let's go to it. Let's go to Luke. I believe that's Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. It says, right here, it says, the Messiah divides men. Luke 12:49, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? So what is the Lord going to do when he sees the fire in this place and the destruction happening? He's going to bring more fire. So it says, behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle and spread his wings over Basra. Now let's go and deal with that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 63, and we're going to start at 1. And when these scholars agree that when Yahushua comes back, he's going to be fighting against Esau. How do we know that? Well, even in their own books, they bring it out. We've hit this many times, but hey, let's go over it again. This is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. When you go to Edom, it gives you a whole rundown of Edom. And then this is the very last paragraph that they have for Edom. As you can see, the next word is Edrei, or Adria, or whatever, however you say that. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures. What are prophetic scriptures? Things that are said before they happen, meaning in the future, as the scene of great future judgments. And anytime you ask these devils, they say that the Edomites they were done away with. That's it. And just because they say it, well, that you just got to accept it because they're Esau, right? It says, see notably Isaiah 34:5 and 6 and 63 and 1. So they know that the Edomites will be around in these times. Let's go to real quick. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. Start at 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? So Ezra wanted to know when the kingdoms were going to be translated from one to the other. What's going to be the end of the last, and what's going to be the beginning of the next? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, because I'm trying to get a word symbolically. There you go. This represented that Jacob was going to bring Esau down. And it's fitting that Yahushua is coming to take these devils out of power, out of rulership. For Esau is the end of the world, or the end of the age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right? So they know that Esau would be in power at the end of days. So it says, Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scripture as the scene of great future judgment, see notably Isaiah 34, 5 and 6, and 63 and 1. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High, because they will be totally annihilated after they serve their punishment. And good riddance. So Isaiah 63 and 1, Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is Yahushua, who is also a what? A lion. He's represented as a lion. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, because he's not coming back as a man, as a carnal, physical man on the earth. But he is coming back as a man, but as a man that's glorified in his glorified body. All right? I that speak in righteous, mighty to save. And this is proof that it's talking about Yahushua. And even David Guzik said that, because they asked him, about this scripture specifically. Now I don't know if that was a video or something that I had read, but they specifically asked him about this, and he told them, yes, this is talking about the Messiah coming back. But he said something along the lines that he didn't buy into it or something like this. I forget exactly how he worded it. But just because you don't accept it or whatever, or go by it, doesn't mean it ain't gonna happen. See, because anything that goes outside of the realm of these devils' teachings, they don't accept. But that don't. What if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? The Lord forbid. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? Right, because when he comes back, he's gonna do a lot of killing. The slain of the Lord will be many. He's gonna, as they say, unalive many people. He's gonna delete that shit, homeboy. Inside joke. I have tried the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So now you understand when the scripture says, and thus with violence shall thy great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Right, because Yahushua is coming to get his pound of flesh off of these devils. Let's go real quick to Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. Who is the he? Yahushua. What are the clouds? The chariots. Because Yahushua is going to be in a gigantic chariot, and you're going to have other chariots with other angels in it getting busy on Esau's ass. Similar to what they showed you in the movie ID4 or Independence Day. You had the great big chariot, and you had other chariots that were breaking off from it, smaller chariots, and fucking Esau's ass up. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Right, so the ones that pierced him when he was on the cross, the jakes that beat him down, Herod in them that beat the Lord, all them motherfuckers are gonna get it. And Yahushua is gonna come back and let out a roar. He's gonna get loose on these devils. It says, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so be true. Why? Because of the horror, the sheer horror that's going to take place on the planet Earth when the Lord comes back and takes his place out. You know, you got to remember that this that is going to happen is going to actually happen, and people are only used to seeing stuff like that in movies. All right, they're not used to seeing it, you know, live. And when they're watching the movie, they cringe and get scared and nervous and hide behind, you know, behind the seat or whatever. But this, they're going to be actually in it. So can you imagine the sheer horror, the pangs, which are these extreme pains, right? Isaiah 13 and 6. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And this is how we know also that Isaiah 13 is talking about Babylon the Great and not ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon was not, or Neo-Babylonian Empire was not taken out in this horrific manner. Therefore shall all hands be faint. Why? Because there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, and every man's heart shall melt. Yeah, you're gonna have heart attacks, strokes, so on and so forth, because they're not gonna know how to mentally, you know, deal with what's coming. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. Let's look up this word, pangs. Sounds fierce. The word there is tazayar, envoy, messenger, pivot of door, hinge, pang, distress. It just says pain, pang, sorrow. Let's do it this way. Check that out. A sudden sharp pain or painful emotion. They're going to be horrified at the chaos that's going to be coming upon the earth. It says, they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, meaning a woman that's having children or child. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Yeah, they're going to be totally afraid, fearful. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. Right, ancient Babylon was not laid desolate. All right, you still, all those areas around there, you still have people that live there. You still have people that walk through there. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. You know, that includes you Israelites. You know, that includes you nations, you Edomites. So going back to Isaiah 63 and 4, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, which is Yahushua, and my fury it upheld me. Right, because the Lord, you got to understand that when Yahushua comes back, he's going to have the fury of the Lord in him, of Yahweh. It says, and I will tread down the people in mine anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Right? You ain't going to be able to do shit. You know, your missiles, your hypersonic missiles, your lasers, you know, your drones, your exoskeletal, your robots, all of that bullshit ain't gonna matter. Yahushua, that's gonna be easy work for Yahushua to come when he comes and take it out. And he could do it by himself. But the Lord is going to have him come with the angels, you know, and to really fuck you up. All right? So pretty much Babylon the Great will be dragged into World War III. You heard, you know, this devil say it. You know, he said, you know, they asked him, what is your response to Iran? He said, don't. Then he walked away, and then they asked him more questions, and he came back. He said, you know, America is dedicated to protect Israel, and Iran will not win. But unbeknownst to him, they are going to win, because the Lord is going to make them to win. Because he's going to get them involved in this war. But guess what? This World War III, once it happens, that's going to be the war to end all wars. And all nations are going to go down at that time. All right? And then begins the kingdom of Yahushai / Yasha'Allah. And then all these nations that did us wrong are going to be in captivity. Serve out their sentence. After 1,000 years, the other nations will be, you know, set free, so to speak, to their lands, but they'll still be tributary. But Esau will be rounded up, every last one of them devils, and burnt. And good riddance. All right. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. To the next time I say, Shalom.